Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. CB Harris here. So today on the Saturday SITREP, I want to talk to you guys. I want to talk about the Army selecting a replacement for the M9 Beretta. So they recently announced they've selected a handgun. It's been a long, hard road getting here to finally selecting a new one. Beretta, they put forward their latest model of the M9, they're really trying to save the M9 platform. I'll be honest with you, I'm not terribly sad to see the M9 go. The M9 had some flaws to it. Don't get me wrong, it was adequate. Okay, it's an okay handgun, but there's some things that I really think just really bothered me, and it needed to be replaced. So I want to tell you what those things are first, and then we're going to get into talking about the Sig P320 that replaced it. So first off, the M9. I heard a lot of people say that they went to a 9mm because more and more women were joining the military. And, you know, it needed to have a lighter recoil. For one, women can train with a .45, okay? I am not one of those people that say you should use the lightest caliber in the world. You can train to it. Absolutely, you can train to it. So, but if that was their reasoning, they forgot about the fact that women tend to have smaller hands. Because the M9 has an absolutely massive grip. For being a 9mm, 15-round, full-size handgun, it is absolutely huge. It is a very large handgun. I think I have pretty much average-size hands. And I think that the M9 is too large of a grip for me. It's a very far reach to get to that trigger. I can do it, but I feel like I don't have quite enough meat on that trigger like I want to. There's a couple other things too. The skeletonized slide, you know, the open and exposed barrel, looks cool, makes it lighter, even though it's still a very heavy gun. It's a weak point. It is. There's not as much structural integrity there, and I have seen M9s crack along the sides where it's just, you know, not very much metal there. I've also seen the little falling block inside that sits underneath the barrel. I've seen the tabs that stick off on the side. I've seen those crack often. I've had it happen to me while qualifying one year. I will say this, the M9 is a very accurate handgun. It really is. It's got that going for it, despite the fact that it's pretty heavy trigger. It's the trigger in double action is long, it's heavy, it's definitely not smooth. In double action, it's pretty decent, actually. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to seeing with a striker-fired Sig P320. I'm pretty excited to see how that works out. So the Sig, I think it actually is the best choice. Now, when I first saw the announcement that the Army was going to a new handgun, and then, you know, the requirements changed, lots of things changed. When I saw the new requirements and the handguns that were being presented by different manufacturers, the Sig was the logical choice. It's the only one on paper even that really met all those requirements, being modular, changing the grips, changing calibers, all those things. Now, I'll give credit to some of the companies who put forward a family of handguns instead of, you know, a separate, you know, a truly modular system. That doesn't really meet the requirements, but, you know, good on you for the effort there. This is huge for Sig, for sure, because you're talking hundreds of thousands of guns being sold to the military, as well as parts contracts, training contracts, armor contracts, all those things that go along with it. So definitely good on you guys at Sig. Great job. I'm pretty excited to try one out. I'm not obviously going to be able to try out a military version, not for a while anyway, not being in the military anymore, but maybe I'll get to see one soon. Working at a military unit, hopefully they'll get one in sometime within the next, I don't know, decade or so, and I'll be able to see one. So anyway, guys, let's talk now about the self-defense files. A trooper, Arizona trooper in Tonopah, Arizona, was rendering aid to a woman who was ejected from her car after a rollover. The other person in that car, whose name was Leonard Penuela Escobar, he shot the trooper, and then started basically trying to cave his head in on the pavement, beating him up. And a passing Good Samaritan stopped, actually shot and killed Mr. Escobar, and definitely did the right thing. Now, this is a strange incident, okay? It is, because It was a police officer needing help from a citizen who was not in the military, not a police officer, just a citizen. And that citizen stepped up and did that job. Now, I'm not saying that this happens all the time because I know that it doesn't, but it does happen. So for those people who think that the police need to just, you know what, they let them handle it because they're the trained professionals. Well, this is one case where a police officer, also a human being, needed help from a fellow human being, and he got it, thankfully. Now let's talk about what's new. I want to talk about the Hudson H9, okay? This is one of the more hyped guns, new, especially at the SHOT Show that recently ended. So the Hudson H9 is a 1911-ish striker-fired, all-steel 9mm. Okay, so it has some styling cues from 1911. They say that it's a modernized version. Let's be honest, it has some things that look similar and some design qualities of a 1911. It is, again, it's 9mm, holds 15 rounds. It has a 4.28-inch barrel. It's 34 ounces. It's a very heavy gun. Really what the big draw is, I suppose, would be the ultra-low bore axis. And that's why the rail sits so darn low. It has, the guide rod and spring and all that kind of support stuff that you have to have sits down in that section to give it a lot more lower axis on the bore. Now, I am interested in shooting this firearm. I'm not necessarily, I'm not sold on it, though. It is $1,147 MSRP. And I want you to consider this. That's a, $1,100 plus striker-fired 9mm that holds 15 rounds. I could buy 2 or 3 other striker-fired 9mm that hold 15 or more rounds. So I don't know if just not sold on the price, really. But I'm interested in it. Maybe, it might surprise me. Absolutely, it could. I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you want one of these? Have you seen it? Let me know down in the comments section. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, I will include links to this story as well as all the stories today so you guys can check all those out. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, it is always appreciated when you like and share the videos. And if you're not a subscriber, find that subscribe button down below, put your crosshairs on it, pull the trigger on that mouse, and come back next Saturday for another Saturday Sit Rep. Remember, your mind, that's your most important weapon, and it's important to be armed with information. Until next time, take care and be safe. Charlie Bravo out.